Well, hello there, my Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, president of Join the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and really honored to be reading for you today. This is a Path of True Love reading for December-ish 2019 because I'm finding my readings are timeless. People are watching them from months ago and going, oh my God, that's happening for me right now. Hence timeless, and I bet you know what all these readings on YouTube are. It's whatever you're drawn to watch, right? Whatever the guidance is, go watch that one, go watch that one. Cool, cool. Before we dive into the reading, let's get some of the basics out of the way. First of all, this is a collective read. That's why I always do Sun, Moon, Rising as a foundation for any zodiacal reads that I do, adding Venus for relationship stuff, Mercury for Mercury retrograde. You sort of get the idea. Please do check your other signs if this one does not resonate with you. That is the point of it. That particularly we're talking about the path of true love, which is essentially a mystical path involving the gods and the angels and the divine, so we fucking have no clue. We're just walking the path. Everything on the path helping us to become true love. That's what the path of true love really is. It's your spiritual path, your healing path, all through the lens of your relationships, the hero's journey, however you want to pattern that, right? This incarnation takes many, many, many lives to set up. So hopefully in this life we achieve the goal, which is to be unconditional, true, divine love, purely anchored into physical form, whatever you want to call that, fifth dimensional awareness, unity consciousness, whatever you want to call it, but it is specifically through your relationships. So a path of true love reading is your path. Other people may be on it. Oftentimes relationships are indicated, but it's all about you. And is it always about romance and sexual relationships? Sometimes, but not always, right? Because you might be dealing with a particular relationship pattern of a family member or a coworker or a boss or something political going on in your life. And I just don't mean like governmental politics. I mean the politics of dancing, the politics of feeling good, the politics of life, right? You know, just dealing with people. Root of the word polis means city, right? Metropolis, or a policeman is a city man, right? So polis, us, tribal, those types of relationships, all to help you move forward. And of course, what you heal in one relationship, quantum heals not just all your other relationships, but all of life. Worth it, right? Cool, cool. So please do remember to breathe. All the decks that I'm reading are in the description box below. There's also a bunch of videos that I did in the description box, my 2 ebooks. There's a lot going on in that description box below. But if you're interested in any of the decks I read, go check out the very, very bottom of it. Cool, cool. What else? Oh, please do like and subscribe if you're new. Making my way to 1,000 subscribers. Just crossed the 600 mark. So that I will be doing super live chats at least once a week, probably more. But then once a month for the first couple of months, I will be doing Drunk Tarot. And a friend of mine suggested, well, before you hit there, why don't you just do a live chat with Drunk Tarot for December for the holidays? I'm like, that's an idea. I don't know. Think about it. I'll feel it out. Cool, cool. Please do remember to breathe. It is the most important thing that you can do in any sort of reading, healing, or whatever. Focus on the breath, because the breath is what's powering the reading, right? Breathing in the chi, the prana, the spirit, right? And what is it coming out in my voice? It's on breath, right? So you're hearing it, but you can be breathing that same chi, prana, information, guidance, grace, whatever you want to call it, on the inhale, blessing the world as you exhale, releasing what you need to release to kind of be in the flow. Cool, cool. Just a good thing to do. So you'll hear me say breathe a couple of times. That's usually my guides kicking me in the back of the head saying breathe, because I'm going too fast or I'm tensing up. And that's not really how we want to do this. Cool, cool. So breathe. Breathe, my lovely earth signs. If you are new to me and my channel, I am a Taurus, so I love me. I'm a Virgo. I love me some Taurus energy. I love me some Capricorns. Love my earth signs. I am a Virgo. 4 planets, 2nd house, Leo rising, Pisces moon, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? But I get you. I feel you, my earth signs. So let's do this. Nice deep breath. Here we go. All right, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, one card, one Caroline Mace archetype card, to represent the dominant archetype this Taurian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign will be dealing with in themselves and another or in their situations on the path of true love for December-ish 2019, though also timeless. Please, what is the dominant archetype, the soul power to be alchemized from lead to gold for this reading? And it's the victim archetype. Now, don't freak out. Everybody has the victim archetype because it's one of the 4 survival family archetypes. There's the child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute. The prostitute has very little to do, if nothing, to do with being a hooker. This is about how we learn how to survive in this world and the power of our own survival. And it is so pivotal on the path of true love. And here's why. If you're trying to do all the create my own reality, right? Law of attraction, universal law, manifestations, spells, candles, herbs, crystals, prayers, burning petitions at new moon, you can't really be a co-creator and live in victim consciousness. They're mutually exclusive. And how many times do our relationships bring us back to feeling like we are playing the victim or playing the victimizer? Because it is a necessary power dynamic in relationships to be able to move it from victim, victimizer, the lead, into victor, as in victory, to overcome. It is necessary, and we all have to grow through that way. The 4 survival archetypes, the child, the victim, the saboteur, the prostitute, everybody has them. Countries have it, nations have it, companies have it. And if you think of it, it is the trunk of the tree that if it is healthy, all of the other archetypes can flourish. But if it's not, you don't get really good growth in your other archetypal patterns. Brilliant metaphor. So I'm going to read this for you now. I'm going to read the lead and the gold. I prefer the language of alchemy. And then we will draw other cards to extrapolate and clarify. So let's have a look. The shadow attribute, the lead part, which would be the victim/victimizer. Playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. Now look, if you're going to walk the path of true love deliberately, right? You really want to heal your relationships. You want to use your relationships to heal. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. It's not like you set them once and then you never set them again, right? It's a decent boundary to tell a 4-year-old, do not talk to strangers. It's not really great for a 24-year-old to have that same boundary. How the fuck are they going to order a pizza? Well, I guess you could, digital. Sooner or later, you have to talk to strangers, right? So always shifting, always evolving. If you've been feeling victimized in a relationship of any kind, then this might be a read. I hope you didn't click off, because how do you know a reading's for you? If it gives you a little kick in the gut, if it gives you a little like that, if your body responds. That's what it means when you say something resonates. You feel it in your body. You know when it's not your reading, when it goes, meh, yeah, meh, right? No energy, no animation at all, right? So that lead, everybody has to deal with, and it is a primary lesson that we all have to learn on the path of true love, right? But let's look at the light attribute. This is what makes it all worth it. Prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. That boundaries and self-esteem are connected in that way, right? That's why self-esteem is not a noun, it's a verb, it's a practice, right? So, I'm worthy of more than this. There, you just ordinarily put up a new boundary, right? No, I'm worthy of better than this. I'm worthy of that. No, I'm not interested in that. No, that feels wrong to me. But years from later, you might be like, no, I think I'm ready to do that, right? So you can put a gate in your boundaries, but you're in charge of who enters and who exits, right? So also, when you are feeling the pain, when you are feeling victimized, that you don't turn around and be the victimizer and take it out on someone else. Really, the fifth dimensional unity consciousness, open-hearted, love-centered path that we all want to be on is about, once you've been victimized, Are you going to react with victimizing them right back, doing to them what they have done to you? Or are you going to respond with love, even if through prayer, even if from a distance? Because sometimes the best thing you can do when someone has victimized you, pull back, heal yourself, understand they are just doing to you what was done to them. And the buck can stop with you, but you see the amount of work that takes. Welcome to a Path of True Love read. We're going to clarify this with the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, baby, Love Pack. Love, baby, that is actually where it's at. I just wanted to jump for you there. We are going to take half of the deck, which is the Suit of Problems, right? The Womp Womp cards, the Debbie Downer deck, to clarify the lead of that, and then we will use the other 3 suits in this half, the Luck, the Healing, and the Grace deck to clarify the gold, right? So here we go. Breathe. Yeah, I hope you're breathing. I hope you didn't click off just like, oh no, fuck the victim, right? Well, it's the victim that gets fucked until you alchemize it into victory, right? Clean, healthy boundaries, higher self-esteem, really learning to love yourself, to love that child that has been hurt in your heart. It ain't easy, but it's the only way out is through. So let's have a look. My masters, right? Please, one card in clarity to clarify the victimizer card, the lead aspect for this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love. Well, lack of self-worth. Sure. There we go. Self-esteem. Well, I'm not worth any better. Everybody has that. Look, I read You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay back in the 80s, like the original rainbow heart covered book. In the first couple of chapters, she says, I'm not good enough is at the foundation of everybody's ego structure. I'm paraphrasing. But that everybody deals with that fear and that illusion. It's not ultimately true. Ultimately, underneath even the lack of self-worth is the divine child that knows its worth, right? But layers and layers and layers of the onion. So that lack of self-worth, that's what's connected to that. Now, look, don't feel bad about having a lack of self-worth. I don't know anybody who doesn't struggle with it. Well, narcissists appear not to struggle with it, but they're possessed by the pain of it and have to wear a mask, right? So if you really look at that, that is part of the path of true love, to get that you are worth the world, that everything that happens in this quantum hologram called life on planet Earth is happening to help your soul grow and evolve, which is divine. Not just spiritual, divine. And that is worth everything. You are worth everything. And we can go, yeah, nice affirmations, stitch it on a pillow, throw it on the couch, grandma. But then there is the experience of it. So let's look for that light attribute, right? Prevents us from letting ourselves be victimized or victimizing others, right? So let's get a piece of gold on that. Make it a good one, my masters, please. One card in clarity. A piece of luck, a piece of grace, or a piece of healing for this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Victim archetype. Show us some gold for the victor, please. Laughter. Now, obviously not just divisive laughter, or what's the other word? Derisive laughter, right? Laughing at yourself in any cruel way. But sometimes to step back and go, oh, is that what that was about? Oh my God, I totally walked right into that. I just had to do this myself. I had to look at a couple of relationship patterns in my life and going, wow, I am really too fucking trusting. I had no idea that shit was going on. I was dealing with liars and deceivers. It just happens, right? All part of the path of true love, so that I what? Learn to trust my gut, that when something feels off, something feels off. And as brilliant as I am as a professional intuitive, when it comes to men, that's my blind spot. That's why the path of true love is so essential for me. To really get, is what I want going to override what it is I'm getting down here? Because there are always red flags. This is how you're going to be able to laugh and go, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, good goddess. Aradia herself. Pick your higher power. Oh, Buddha. Fred, Wilma, Shaggy, Scooby, Zan, Jaina. Oh my good goddess, let me laugh. Not laugh at myself, but that laugh of recognition that this is all a game, that you are learning. And it's a great way to really insulate yourself against doing it again. Instead of beating yourself up for it, just be like, oh sweetheart, you, me, and everyone on planet Earth, right? It's okay. I love you. And give yourself some laugh time, right? Really take care of yourself. Like, I've been watching a lot of stand-up comedy on Netflix, right? Because some of them fucking make you pee laughing. It was very, very helpful before going then back down into the sub-basement of the underworld to clean up the damage done by someone who really lied and deceived. Yeah, what are you going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to take 3 Daughters of the Moon Tarot, one for your past where you've been on the path of true love, one for the present where you are on the path of true love, and one for the future where you're headed. Keep in mind, I don't do predictive reads. I don't think they're helpful. I think they lock people into some psychological pain, right? Well, can I stop it from happening? Can I make it happen faster? It's like, no. No. But like GPS, it's going to kind of say, this is where you're headed. Keep going in this direction. So you can change it. You have free will. But you don't have control over the divine paradigm, right? The divine quantum paradigm of reality. You can't make yourself jump timelines. It just happens, right? Although some people would disagree with that. But, you know, free will is not control. Free will is free will. Control is control. Free will is how do I want to react or respond. Reaction is knee-jerk, usually from fear. Response, heart-centered, usually considered. So let's get you 3. From the goddesses, my goddess Demeter in particular, who sits in the throne of Taurus, for me, the great healer, the great alchemist. Oh, please, Demeter, 1 card in clarity face down. For this Taurus collective sun, moon, rising Venus sign, where have they been on the path of true love? My goddess, please, where are they now on the path of true love for this Taurus? Where are they headed on the path of true love? Past, present, future, face down. I don't know what they are. Let's have a look. No reversals. Okay, well, you're starting off in the past with the witch. So as I said about law of attraction, right, and casting spells, and what it is, it's about aligning yourself with source, having your intention. Now, an intention is, oh God, I hope with the best of who I am that this is what happens, right? That it goes this way. It's not, you can't command the universe, sweetheart, not unless you're in such a place of divine unity where it's not even a command. It's just like, so mote it be, right? And so it is, and it unfolds. On the path of true love, in terms of a relative thing, it's like you're pretty clear what you want. You've got your tools. You're ready, right? It's card number 1 in the major arcana. Everybody thinks it's the Fool, but the Fool is 0. It has no number. So this would be the Magician in the Rider-Waite Tarot, the traditional tarot as we like to call it, about balancing your fire, earth, air, and water, bringing it into alignment with spirit, channeling something down from the ethers, the formless into form, right? Using your mind, your choices, your will, your decision, your emotions, and physical action to bring something into form. So, like, yeah, you have to get that there is a part of this that sometimes you just gotta laugh, that sometimes you just gotta be like, okay, because I'm finding the best way to manifest anything is indirect manifestation, where you focus on what it is you want, you visualize it, and you're like, how would that feel, right? You imagine it to kind of be like, how would that feel, right? You're using your air and your fire, your thought, and your choice. Like, I want to focus on that. How would it feel to have what I want on the path of true love? And then what happens? Emotions come up. You allow yourself to feel those emotions steadily, not all the time. That's where people blow it, that they have to feel good all the time. Not possible. You have to love what rises. You have to allow that insecure, fearful part of you, that wounded child, to speak. But then you communicate, the soul communicates to the universe, let's feel more of that. Let's feel more of that. I want to feel more of that. And it will bring you experiences that allow you to feel that more and more and more and more, maybe manifesting in what you want on the path of true love, or maybe you're just feeling it so consistently it doesn't matter what happens, and then the divine plan gives you what you're ready for. Where are you now? Second major arcana card, the Star, blessed be. Now look, with a card like the Victim archetype, there I would freak first. but this is worth it. This is saying that where you are right now is all about alignment. Because really, what is the witch aligning with? The power of the stars. She's channeling the celestial down through her crown chakra into third eye air, into throat chakra choice, into heart chakra emotion, into root chakra form, like a lightning rod, right? So where you are right now is a place of hope, is a place of alignment, is a place of guidance. Because remember, before we had compasses and maps, we had the stars, right? So it's about looking up, following your path to the best of your ability, knowing that you don't know, but being willing to have hope. Hope that somehow this is all that I'm going through is part of the divine plan. That's a good start. Hope that sooner or later I'm going to get what I want because it's written on my heart and there is a divine plan involved here. And hope that I can follow the guidance and the grace to the best of my ability, and that ultimately we can't get it wrong. Because you know what? You can't really get the divine plan wrong. Oh, you can feel like you can. Oh, you can feel victimized because, oh, the divine plan. Oh, the divine plan. That's not the divine plan. I'm learning that at core, what we call negative judgment, not discernment, judgment, is determining that something's not the divine plan. When everything's the divine plan. You don't have to like it, though. You don't have to be like, yay, I got brutalized. Yay for the divine plan. No, it's part of the divine plan that you fucking hate it so that you heal, right? But that there is that upliftment, that spirituality, that higher vision, that higher guidance, that higher grace there for you. Where are you headed? Well, excellent. Seven of Flames, victory. Now, what did I say was the gold side of the victim? The victor. Well, there is a card, literally says on it at the bottom, victory, a victory. The Seven of Flames. I know it's usually the Six of Wands in Rider-Waite. This is Daughters of the Moon. It's galloping forward, right? You've got the witch there in the past saying, all right, so mote it be, right? Now you've got this, okay, I have the hope. The only thing we're entitled to is hope. Saint Teresa of Avila. Thank you, my love. Right? Oh, follow it. We surf the waves. It's all a labyrinth. It's a journey. It's all a divine plan. It's all the quantum. It's all that and a side of quantum fries. But then where you're moving is forward motion, victory, overcoming obstacles, right? Healing in a rapid manner all the way home. We're going to clarify these three with three of the Mythic Tarot, Juliet, Sherman, Burke. Those are the voices of the goddess. These will be the voices of the god. Ready? Breathe. Oh my gods. Please. One card in clarity. You want me to just clarify these as we go? Okay, we're not doing three down. We're going to do them one up, one up, one up. Got it. Word up. My gods, please, one card in clarity for this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Where have they been on the path of true love? Please clarify. The Devil. That's your third major arcana card. So this might have been, not that she was cast in for the devil, but that there was some shadow stuff going on here. There was probably some pain. There probably was some addictive, codependent, abusive, narcissistic, toxic, something or other. Now, in this deck, it's the devil, but this is Pan. Pan is not the devil. He's the base urge, right? He's the god of nature, the masculine face of nature, and technically the son of Hermes, because Hermes got it on with a goat, all right? Gods and goddesses. Love them so much. So, you know, they're dancing to his tune. Pan is playing his panpipes, which can drive people mad. So maybe even a touch of madness. Now, this might be something that you very, very, very much want, feel very, very, very much connected to, and no shade on anybody, but crackheads want crack, right? We all have our addictions, the things that we want, must have. But I'm going to say with that victimizer, victor archetype going on there, with that lack of self-worth, this might very well have been a piece of magic, a prayer, a movement of will, getting your act together and taking it on the road in spite of a situation where you were bound in some way, constrained, constricted in something toxic. Look, toxic relationships are the predominant. Let's be clear about that. The toxicity of human relationships has just been dominant for thousands and thousands of years. Remember, psychology in terms of human relationships, human history is relatively new, right? So, you know, we are healing ancestral patterns going back to what? The cradle of civilization? It's not easy. What is that in the tree? Oh, it's so funny how you don't see things in tarot cards for 20 years. There is a little owl up in the tree here in the corner. You can't see it. But so that there is hidden wisdom in this, and that there is some power dynamic there in that devil, that this is about you possibly taking your power back, facing your fear, facing your shadow, so that this victim, whether you were the victim or the victimizer, need not happen again. But if you are using any kind of spirituality, magic, or otherwise to control a situation, free will is not controlled. Good luck. It's going to play out the way it's going to play out. Sorry, now you can click off if you want. But let's clarify the card of the Star. Such a lovely, lovely card for where you are on the path of true love, please. My God, same thing for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Victim, victor, victimizer, archetype. Please, one card in clarity. Where are you now? You are the Queen of Wands, the Leo card. So there is something here about confidence, about fixed fire, about creativity, about good fortune. What I love about, well, Leo energy in general, obviously it's ruled by the sun, that there is courage here, that there is light here, that there is healing here. However, the shadow side of it absolutely is narcissism. Not saying that all Leos are narcissistic. I'm Leo rising, so I tread carefully on that. But that sometimes they really believe, like the sun, that the entire universe revolves around them. And that's not really true, right? It's a quantum thing. And in that sense, we're all interconnected. So with that card of the Star, it's really how that clarifies, and maybe this is a person in your life, someone with those Leo tendencies, that fifth house kind of pleasure vibe here, that the path forward, your way through, oh, I get it, your way through to connect to that hope now is to laugh, is to enjoy yourself, it's the holiday season, right? The season of light, right? Like all of them. All of our holidays have to do with light somehow. So to really bask, relax, allow the star to guide you by surrendering to it in a way that is pleasurable, and certainly shifting from the devil to the star in that way, right? From Pan to something leonine. It's still pretty fierce, but it is definitely more relaxed and more pleasurable. Let's clarify this Seven of Flames, this card of victory, shall we? Breathe. My gods, please, one card in clarity for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love. Please clarify. Please clarify. My gods, one for this card of victory. And there is your fourth major arcana card, the High Priestess. Now, considering the High Priestess in this deck is Persephone, who is in the underworld right now, right? 6 months above ground, 6 months below. She's queen of the underworld right now. We're talking about a going within, internal victory. Yes, you are making forward motion on the where you're headed on the path of true love, great victory. But it might not be something that you put on full blast on social media. It might be something that you keep secret to yourself. There may be plans in play of moving forward somehow, some way that you keep to yourself. But let us not forget here, there is something very highly spiritual about the card of the High Priestess, regardless of your gender. That this does represent in some ways some divine revelation, or at least some divine intervention, but coming from within, right? It's not so overt. It's not like the Tower, which is totally a card of divine intervention. I know people hate the Tower, but it's like one of the best cards of, it depends on where it lands, right? How it lands. But this is more divine information being revealed through the intuitive, right? Through the divine feminine within you, which may provide victory and forward motion, because I have to say, this feels very active, this feels very yang, very external, very masculine energy. With your past, present, and future clarified, let's use the daughters, The Healing with the Angels Oracle. Doreen Virtue. Let's get one card in clarity from the angels, because you've got all this detail on the table. Now let's go broad stroke, right? Let's look at a larger, pulled back point of view from the angels. Hey, please, my angels, awful breath. Breathe. One card in clarity for this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love. Please, one card of your celestial, guardian, angelic, wonderful, higher vibrational, higher point of view clarity. This one you want. Children. Now, probably not literally children, although certainly that may be. Only you would know that. Like, I don't have kids. I have cats. So I don't immediately interpret this card as children, since I ain't got none. Oh, I have neighbors who have kids, but I don't have kids. So this can very much be about the inner child, your own innocence, the child of your heart, right? The playfulness, which really, I have to say, matches well with this Leo energy in the present moment, and with that card of laughter, that if you see yourself as that innocent child that perhaps, because it didn't know its worth, made some choices, some decisions, took some actions not really knowing, innocently stumbling into things, really, if you can get that for yourself, then get that that's everybody on planet Earth, right? Everyone is in the same journey, but where they are in the journey is different. So to really tend to that child within yourself, and how do you do that? It's just like parenting, except the kid's always with you. Your heart chakra is the inner child, and that's why it has memories like chakras do. They're like databases. Don't want to technologize it too much, but the chakras are like databases, remembering everything, recording everything. To have painful memories, heartbreak, disappointment in the heart, feeling victimized, feeling emotionally abused, emotionally neglected, which you could be see, people think victim only in terms of abuse, but neglect, you can still be a victim of neglect. So you give your heart, you give that child, you give that innocence, the innocence of your heart, what only you can give it. You parent that, you rebuild that child little by little. I love you, and I am so sorry you were abused, neglected, codependent upon, beaten, abandoned, ostracized, ignored. I'm so sorry. And you will notice, even as you begin to say those words, that the heart will start to open and emotions will flow through you. Particularly that I'm placing that under the Devil card there, because that's just where it goes in the spread. That does say that that's maybe part of this magic, the self-healing. That's something that you can do for yourself, that you have the tools for. Do educate yourself, though. Like I said, there are some links in the description box below, or get a private read, particularly with me. This is what I specialize with people on the path of true love. That's why I play it like a fiddle from hell. It's just true. It's like, I'm a fucking badass on the path of true love. I will cry my fucking eyes out if it helps heal my heart so that I can love again and again, and bigger and badder and hotter and more fierceless. Fierceless? More fierce, more fearless than ever before. Nobody wants to be fierceless. Maybe fierceful? I don't know. Let's ask the higher selves of all involved using the Whispers of Love Oracle. Please breathe. The higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity for this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Where are they on the path of true love? Please, a whisper of love for them in this victim archetype dealio. Honesty is essential. I'm not just saying it, that's what's on the card. Honesty is essential. To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully. Neighbors, you probably heard that. That maybe this is about being honest with yourself about how you feel. Maybe it's honest about, maybe you did victimize yourself, right? Maybe you did victimize someone else, or maybe you are going to be honest to your victimizer, right? That there's an honesty there. You're going to say, you know what, that fucking hurt, but I'm learning from it, right? The truth is, be truthful with yourself first, right? And I think with this card of the star here, that's telling you everything. It's like, tune into guidance before you do anything. Do not run off half-cocked. Be honest. Stop breathe. How am I really feeling right now? Gut, am I really ready to say or do anything here? I must be honest with myself. How do I really feel? The fuck are they doing next door? I don't want to know. It's not like they're sawing into my wall, but they can't be. That's what happens when you share a wall with somebody. It sounded like farts. To make it through the wall like that can't possibly be. I'll let you know. So yeah, to be honest, start being honest with yourself. That honesty is essential, right? But also there's a difference between, I always say when this card pops up, the Dalai Lama quote, truth without compassion is brutality. So, be compassionate, the compassionate heart. Yes, okay, so we stepped into this trap. We might not have known it, particularly with this child card. This could even be a pattern repeating from childhood, because we don't usually remember that stuff, so we keep replaying it until we nail the dismount. With the grace of the divine, we alone do nothing. Last card down, Journey of Love Oracle. Going to read it right from the book. It's genius. It always seems to tie these readings up. Sometimes the very words that I read out of the book are words on cards here. So let's see how this goes. Nice deep breath, please. We started with the collective pantheons with that archetype card. We will end with the collective pantheon with the Journey of Love Oracle. Oh, please, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please one card in clarity for this Taurus collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign dealing with this victim archetype. Please, where are they on the path of true love? That one did not want to shuffle back in. Here we go. Becoming. Just one word. Becoming. Never read this one before. Pretty though. Becoming. Lots of golds and greens and blues in there. Becoming. Card number 34. 3 and 4 makes 7. Look, I did math. Oh, and we are right there. We turn to 35. 34, becoming. This won't be terribly long. Please breathe. Yes, you are manifesting your divine purpose. Yes, what is happening now is just one of many inspired brushstrokes on the canvas of your life's work. You are the artist who paints with trust, instinctive and spontaneous, with faith in the process unfolding. You are not the painter using the numbered squares who has a finished vision even before commencing the task with a map for all the steps of the journey. Your lack of plan renders you open and receptive to divine direction. You are capable of being moved by spirit. You are a brave adventurer. So celebrate what you are creating now and realize that it is a step in your major work of divine art. This life of yours, not to be planned, but to be experienced, stroke after stroke, step after step. You shall witness the picture coming to life. It may not be what you expected, but it will be the most beautiful, extraordinary creation. Come here. That's the witch, right? That's the card of the magician, that you are a divine artist. And to just sort of go with the flow and just hope, be in that great hope is, I wrote it in my book Words of Grace. The grace of hope is the golden thread that guides you through the labyrinth, right? Really, very Ariadne, very Greek myth, and that to take the journey, right? Just so I said, I love these cards. This oracle brings you comfort that you are blossoming, and each petal unfolding is another step closer to your ultimate divine fulfillment. There is a message here, too, that a relationship or project that you are keen to move forward will bloom in its own unique way, and I think that's what has to do with this card of victory, but particularly with Persephone, the high priestess, that you just don't know when, but you know it is. You just don't know when. Give it breathing room and be willing to let it become what it seeks to be. Even without a clear direction or plan, That's hidden with the divine, with the high priestess. Sometimes even because of that, there is an inner plan that can come to fruition. Absolutely. I love this deck. Let me read you the poem. It's usually very touching. Please breathe. Take heed, my friend, for time is ticking fast. Illusion grand, in hopes this dream will last. Such memories we keep for days to come, a looking glass that only shows what's done. It would be sad to think there's nothing more, a well-worn path reflecting what's in store. God's gift was not that days would be the same. Each dawn's first light would sing a fresh refrain of light and cloud to bathe the earth's surprise. With change afoot to stop would be unwise. A palette rich awaits the artist's brush, creating life at one with God's soft touch. Straight out of Charmed, right? That's a whole episode worth of spell work there for the Halliwells. I feel like you have the potential here to learn from this victimization in a way that you so overcome, and that you get to choose the colors as you paint as you go along. That to have hope that there is a divine plan in play here, and every brushstroke, though it may seem random, though you may feel like you don't know what you're doing with the innocence of a child here, just be honest. This is what I want. I really, really want to experience more of this. Just keep in mind, instead of trying to make it happen, indirect manifestation. What I want, I give myself permission to want what I want, but now, what are the feelings? Identify the feelings. Practice feeling those feelings a little bit here, a little bit there. That will communicate to the universe to give you more opportunities to feel that. Maybe you get, like it said, maybe you get exactly what you want, maybe you don't. Let's do your overview. Ready? Nice deep breath, magic clap. Magic clap. We start with the victim archetype in its shadow, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. And what's connected to that is lack of self-worth, which makes a hell of a lot of sense. And remember, we all struggle with that. The light attribute prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others, and what comes along with that? Laughter. So when you feel that, I'm gonna rip their fucking heads off, really listen to it and not laugh at it, but let it inspire that laughter of like, wow, okay, kid. That's the wounded child, right? That is the victim archetype inside of you that just wants to destroy, right? So it's like, it's okay, honey. I love you so much. I get it. We'll build, another 10,000 feet on the boundary if necessary, but let's not hurt other people or ourselves. I love you so much, right? That's totally indicated in this child card too. In your past, you've got the witch and the devil. Honestly, not a great combo, one would think, but that it's in the past that you really did your best, it feels like, with a toxic situation. One where there was addiction, abuse, neglect, codependence, wounds, attachments, something toxic, something unhealthy, but that you did sort of walk into it innocently so that you could learn. You may have been wounded, but that wound can heal and it will be stronger. You will be stronger than ever before as a result of it. Where are you now? On the path of true love, you've got the Star card. To me, the most spiritual, high vibrational card in the deck, of inspiration, of aspiration, of higher perspective, of divine intervention, really, with the Queen of Wands, moving you forward into confidence, into pleasure, into creativity, into good fortune. But that you can relax and play along. Just remember, honesty is essential. I'm literally lining this up with the cards right underneath them. Just be honest with yourself. If you don't really feel like doing something because your gut is saying, no, I know that feels really off, sick to my stomach, no, that's one thing. But if you're like, oh, I don't know, take the risk, be brave, take a step, see what happens, right? Because it does lead to where you're headed, this card of the Seven of Flames, victory. Literally galloping forth, fire in the hands, and the horses are actually galloping on cooling lava, right? There's a lot going on underneath the surface, moving everything in the same direction. And with that card of the High Priestess, yes, a lot is hidden here, but there is wisdom to be had. There is a divine plan in action, and there is an opportunity from that High Priestess for there to be such a blossoming and a flowering through your own intuitive process that, yeah, you don't know how it's going to end. Nobody does. No divination system on earth can accurately predict what's going to happen to everybody with such accuracy and precision that it eliminates the mystery of the divine. Nothing does that. And what, because of this card of becoming, to really wrap that up underneath all of this, that you are becoming this piece of art, that you are not just the product, you are the producer, you are the artist, you are every brushstroke, every choice, every decision, shadow and light. And let's face it, it's really not a great piece of art unless there's some darkness and there's some contrast. Hence, there's nothing like watching a victim or a victimizer find victory through healing, through walking the path. Well, my Taurians, it's a pretty amazing read. Started off rough, I get it. I hope, well, obviously, if you're still hearing my voice, you followed it through. You watched the rest of the reading. But really, so much power going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards out of 6. You have to see that as a predominantly spirit thing. Plus with that card of becoming at the end, that this is a process, an artistic process. You are the divine art, and you are the painter, but do remember you are co-creator with the divine. Please remember to breathe. Remember to take care of yourself. Remember to love that child in your heart. Give it as much attention as though it were a literal one holding on to you every minute. Talk to it, love it, learn from it. It will teach you how to love it. It will teach you how to love yourself, because it is yourself, right? Oh, how wonderful. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed. Please do like and subscribe. Don't forget, get me to 1,000, because we're going to have a lot of fucking fun once we do. Not that we're not having fun right now. We are. But really, really looking forward to it. May the Taurus Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, to grow, to heal, to learn, to become the best that they can be, and fulfill their role in the divine plan, particularly on the path of true love, because we need as much true love embodied and integrated as possible on planet Earth right now. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching again. Please do like and subscribe. Happy holidays. Watch the other vids. And for now, my darlings, hail, farewell, and blessed be.